Welcome to the West Coast Offensive eBook. I have 7 formations here for you. All but one is under center, and then we're going to go 5 wide at the end. But we're going to start in Singleback Ace, and we'll come out here in my stretch run. We will match with just nickel here. And I am using the Bucks here because Tom Brady does get Hot Route Master. I'm going to give you, for some of these plays, I like to use Hot Route Master. Or, you know, whatever, like Tight End Apprentice, whatever it is. But I do have that to just take the scheme to the next level. But if you don't have Hot Route Master, cool, that's okay too. So, first run we're going to be starting out with is the stretch and the zone alert. So, the zone alert is going to be like the zone run is obviously going to be your, like inside run. And then the stretch obviously gets more outside, and you can kind of cut it up outside, right? So that's kind of the idea with the run game out of Singleback Ace. It is nice that you can, like this is a look you might want to go ahead and try to run up against double A gap, obviously, and take like more of an inside approach there, more of an inside run. So I like to have, and it's an RPO, so you have like the screen built in off of both of these. So that's obviously something that's pretty nice. But run game pretty self-explanatory. Inside out, run where they aren't, look for light boxes, things like that. So good stuff there out of the Singleback Ace run game. But I do want to get into this pass game. So Z-spot, obviously, I want to streak Godwin over here, and we're trying to create a sail concept with Godwin, Brait, and Fournette getting out to the flat. And you can leave your other tight end on a quick out route if you're just looking for a quick hitter. But if you're looking for something more down the field, you can streak him as well, and you're basically creating like a dagger concept on the left side of the field with the sail concept on the right. So we can run that here, and I mean that's just exactly what you want. You see who is at number 21 coming down. You saw him playing the flat the flat defender. Makes it pretty easy. Like here, this is one where I might want to streak the tight end because that guy that's on the left outside shoulder of him, of Otten over there, maybe he I don't want to run into him. I don't want to run an out route into him. So maybe I streak him and I can hit him on a quick hitter as well, something like that. Ton of quick things you can do with this. With the Z-spot, you almost have to have it. And it's unique to have a corner route from the tight end spot. And obviously with Singleback Ace, if you can run these both ways, if you're comfortable running these both ways, that will be better. That will be better because it's a balanced formation. You can flip it without your opponent knowing, and you can get a tight end corner route on either side of the field. So good stuff there from Z-spot. Next play we have is inside cross, and I mean this is one you can really just leave stock because it's just tough for the computer to cover these drag routes here. But I do like to usually streak one of them to the side of the deep in route here, and again not creating like a dagger concept with a drag route going over underneath of it. But if you do get one-on-one like we had out there with Mike Evans, you do get that post route over there on the left as well. Here it looks like they're going to be bringing some pressure. We'll streak Cameron Brait again, trying to set up this dagger concept. And I mean, if they're going to give you just down the seam, that's cool too, absolutely. But I really do like Singleback Ace. This has been just a staple formation for myself for, I mean, just a long time here in Madden. So, and there you can see, I mean, kind of held on to the ball a long time there. Well, let's just get into the replay and kind of show you what I was looking at right there. We were kind of working it down. You're kind of working downfield. So like this route is meant to clear out. This guy does a good job of getting flipped around and kind of almost passing it. Probably not intentionally, but just kind of where he was standing. Passing it to the safety, so that kind of takes away this route. But while he's up there doing all this stuff with Chris Godwin, that's why you have this drag underneath with your other tight end. So I really like the inside cross. And again, I mean, you can obviously flip the play, streak Otten, and do this same exact thing, just the other way, right? Absolutely do the same thing. And then, again, don't be afraid to work the ball down the field with the post route or that deep in route on the inside cross play. So our last play we have here out of Singleback Ace is tight end drag. And this is just really good here. I really just like to run this stock. You have a 6-man protection. Mike Evans, perfect receiver for this on the outside. You have your face catch opportunity with the deep post route to Godwin on the other side here. Try to beat like cover 2, even man coverage, get that little bit of inside leverage. And then, of course, just Cameron Brait on just broken. That's actually a perfect rep right there to break that down, what you're trying to do in the middle of the field. So you're trying to put in a real game, this would be like a user player, and obviously he has to pick 88 or he's pick 84. Who does he want to cover? He covers 84 on this time. Obviously that just leaves the middle of the field open. So not bad there. And again, if you want to add another body to this, instead of Leonard, your running back blocking here, you could just put him on what would be like a curl route here or something like that, and you can just drop him into, and that's against man. That was tough there. That was just confusing. I should have threw the ball down the field right there. But yeah, overall Singleback Ace here. Kind of put him on an option route as well. Singleback Ace, really good, really good. I love having the tight end drags out of Singleback Ace. Really tough to stop. You almost always want to have one of them on the field, it feels like. Another setup actually for Z-Spot before we go here is basically setting up this and dragging your tight end underneath, getting a 6-man protection, and running it like this here. And again, creating like a sail concept out of Singleback Ace. I did want to put that in there before I shifted to the next formation here. But yeah, overall, Singleback Ace, sweet formation to start with. Really good base formation. Of course, you probably won't be running every single one of these formations in every single game, but you probably are going to gravitate towards 1 or 2 or 3 formations that you really, really like. And Singleback Ace is a really, really good base formation for you. Our next formation here is Singleback Doubles Flex. I really like this Singleback Doubles just in general, but we're going to come out in the stretch. We'll, again, just match with nickel, I guess. And we do have the stretch and the halfback slam. I do like to run the halfback slam as opposed to, I think there's like a halfback dive or something like that. The halfback slam goes to the other side of the formation. So the halfback slam is the run left, and then you have the outside run right. Not that you can't flip them with like the right stick or anything, but it's just one less thing. If you flip, I mean, obviously we don't get an animation in practice mode, but if you flip it in a game, your quarterback touches his head and it gives off to your opponent that you flip the play that way. But if you can just select a play, he doesn't know whether you picked halfback slam, slot post, he doesn't know what play you audible to, as opposed to just flipping the run play. So halfback slam and the stretch, obviously inside out, just like we talked about in Singleback Ace. Same thing with the run game, right? Run it to where they ain't. Pretty simple. Halfback slam. I mean, we're just gonna. I mean, it's pretty easy, right? Pick up nothing there. But the stretch as well. I really like stretch run. Here's actually a decent look to run it against. Not sure how good of a blocker Cameron Brate is, but I mean, good enough, I guess. Good enough. Picking up some decent yards there. But again, inside out game with the run game. If you watch these videos on my channel, I mean, that's something I talk about almost every single scheme, it feels like. Having an inside run and having an outside run you can get to. So, first pass play, though, we want to get to is slot post. And this is one, guys, I really just like. You can just run it stock, man. You have your Julio Jones right there on the far left with, that's your face catch opportunity. Chris Godwin, sometimes the purple routes don't quite get to it, and then the guy that's over Chris Godwin's dropping into a deep blue, so sometimes that's free yards. And then in the middle of the field, we're just trying to create a high-low read with Mike Evans, who is your number 1 receiver in this formation. Just something to keep in mind. And with the high-low read with Mike Evans and Cameron Brate, and then with just Fournette as your check down here. So here we get man, and that's actually a really nice. That's a really nice thing right there, because obviously you have the face catch opportunity one-on-one with man coverage all the time, right? So you have one-on-one with Julio over there to the left. But here, what I'm doing here is pass leading the ball down. I'm clicking on to Mike Evans, and then I'm coming back to the ball. That is a very good way to get catches against man coverage this year, guys. I mean, you can see that he has like the leverage underneath, so I'm just throwing the ball to where Mike Evans is, right? He's underneath, I put the ball underneath, and I come back to the ball. So if your user catches are pretty decent, that is something you'll be able to do in your offense here. So slot post again, just letting it stock. And again, I mean, you can just see almost every time, pretty much every time, you're gonna be able to do that if your click on is even half decent. So get the slot post again. Would love to get not man coverage, and here we actually get zone, which is decent. And again, that kind of gets in behind those zones. Let's just see what kind of course we get a terrible look now with where the zones are. So yeah, like all the linebackers kind of come up. They look like they're sending like a blitz here, and Mike Evans is just right where it was at. So, but slot post, I don't want to beat on it too much here. It looks like we're getting cover 0. The out route against cover 0, sometimes that is open, but sometimes that does get picked too if you have like a good corner with outside shade or just a good corner in general sometimes. But against zone, that out route does beat it at sometimes as well. So 4 verts is the next play here, and what I really like to do here is, this is obviously your push down the field. I like to max protect, and then you can do whatever you want with your tight end here. You can put him on like an out route, well, that's if you have hot route master, putting him on a corner route is nice, but you can put him on an out route or put him on like a drag and just underneath. Mike Evans will break against man coverage or against cover 2, so we'll kind of see what happens here. And against not cover 2, he will beat cover 3 like that. So really nice. And then obviously with 4 verticals, you're going to have, this would be the basic setup here. The 2 guys on the outside, Julio and Chris Godwin, those are obviously going to be your face catching opportunities, with your man beater Mike Evans in the middle of the field that breaks, and then Cameron Brate as your you're just underneath check down. And obviously Mike Evans is on fire right now. He's lit up, so he's gonna make it look pretty good. But 4 verticals, I don't want to get into. I mean, that's pretty simple. Face catch, throw the ball down the field of Mike Evans. Not too many reads there to make. Last play that we have out of Singleback doubles flex is Z-Spot again. Absolutely love Z-Spot. Again, we're going to streak Chris Godwin, and I absolutely love that Leonard Fournette is already on a flat route because you don't need Hot Route Master for it. And again, same thing. You can leave Mike Evans if you're looking for a quick hitter and you think you can be able to hit that. That is what you don't want to do, obviously, but you can let him on that quick hitter if you see maybe your opponent just is neglecting that part of the field or whatever. Here it looks like we're going to get cover 0. But the other thing you can do is streak them. Again, you're running sail on the right, dagger on the left, and that's another great thing. Or you can run Y cross, basically, with Mike Evans and Julio Jones, and if you have Hot Route Master, you can put them on a cross route. So, and that is obviously my favorite setup. If you can put them on a crossing route with going over top of the corner, so setting it up something like this would be your ideal setup. And I mean, that's just going to cook. That's just going to cook. It's really good. You have man beaters all over the field, corner routes, crossers, everything you can get to. Quick routes, right, with the Z-Spot, with the hitch route. A decent enough run game. I really like Singleback doubles flex out of this West Coast scheme here. Our next formation is Singleback doubles north, and this is probably my favorite formation in the entirety of the playbook here, the entirety of the West Coast. So your 2 run plays are halfback ace power and then this halfback pitch. I'm only going to come back in the halfback ace power because the pitch is, I mean, pretty niche, right? I mean, you're really trying to get outside, but they both are pulling guards. So if you do have like puller elite, sometimes that does help. I know pulling guards can be a little bit inconsistent, but I have found that puller elite does help on both of these particular plays. So the play we're going to come out in is curl drag, and then we'll just show you the run game first here. So the halfback power ace, really what I like to do is flip the run play a lot of the times and run it towards the tight end. And of course the guard doesn't quite get over there. But you can hit these for big runs once you're throwing the ball down the field and you catch them in super light boxes. You're going to be able to hit these runs for a little bit more success here. Of course we're not. Hey, there we go. We actually squeaked through. So, but good stuff out of the run game. Inside out again with the pitch and the halfback ace power. Catch them in the light boxes. That's when you want to hit the run game. So, first pass play we're going to get into is curl drag. And this one you can absolutely leave just stock here. But the setup I really like to run is block RB, your running back. And if you have Hot Route Master, put your tight end on a crosser. And you can just already see this is just going to set up Mike Evans underneath or Cameron Brate over the top, Chris Godwin over the top. Good stuff. If you don't have Hot Route Master, you can just put your tight end on an in route. Kind of the same effect, just less down the field. But this is the real setup that you want here. Why kind of that was terrible. That was awful. I felt the pressure. But so again, set it up. You can leave the running back out on a route as well if you so choose. But I like to have those crossers on the inside or from the tight end because he does get that inside leverage, which is, I mean, incredible, obviously, which is exactly what you want. And again, I mean, you can obviously run this with a corner route as well and kind of create like scissors over there. And then this is just another setup, basically. Running it against man. I mean, Matt Judon's locking me up right now. That's crazy. But yeah, wide receiver curl is absolutely one of my go-to plays in this scheme here. And I mean, you can just see why. Just pulls the routes on the right side of the field, pull everybody down the field. That is often what you hit, and then you hit a big gainer that way, and then you still have the crosser from the tight end. So that was curl drag. Decent play there. Slot corner is your next one, and guys, this is one I just like to leave. I like to leave stock. So again, you really need to have your reads down here. You need to know which receivers are which button because you need to be able to process it pretty quickly here. Let's just get into replay here. So we start off, I'm looking at Cameron Brate. I can obviously see there's going to be a hole right behind this linebacker here because he's occupied with Cameron Brate, and that's what you're trying to set up. Again, high-low read, pretty simple, pretty easy in the middle of the field. But if you do have man coverage, you do have Gage on the corner route, and then Godwin on a bit of a post route there. So here, you can see the linebackers that drifted back in a bit of a cover 2. Thump the ball underneath on their drag route to your tight end. So pretty simple on slot corner. You are trying to push the ball down the field. You can push the ball down the field with that route. I mean, I know he caught it there, but the idea would be for him to come down and play, for that safety to come down and play Mike Evans, and then that would open up Chris Godwin. He kind of got chucked there. He kind of got pushed, but that is slot corner. Quick passes, man beaters, zone beaters, a little bit of everything there for you. Next play is just wide receiver corner. This one pretty simple. I like to run it like bench. Basically, you have your corner route from Evans, and then your C route from Godwin, which is really good against man. You can put Gage on like an out route if you want to, create like a real smash concept over there. But we're looking to the right side of the field. If Mike Evans isn't there, I'm probably dropping it down to my option route on the running back there. Pretty simple. This is if you're getting cooked in man. Maybe you do this, something like that. Block your tight end and just try to feed that C route. Again, this is just your strictly if you're getting locked up in man, you want to have the C route. If you don't have hot route master, obviously you can't get to it. So this is I like to just have it in the repertoire, just in case. And of course, I mean you always have that. Something like that on the deep corner route. So overall though, pretty decent here out of Singleback Doubles North. Last play is PA rollout, and this is one that you really want to have. Hot route master for, because you want to put Cameron Brate on a crosser, and you can just see deep cross go Burr, Brate, Gage, Evans, everybody go down the field, and you still have a face catch opportunity in Chris Godwin over on the right side of the field. And I mean, you can just see what you're trying to dial up here. Mike Evans gets in behind everybody, wants the crossers to clear out. And sometimes the crossers won't clear out, but then the crossers will be wide open. You can obviously block your running back as well, get kind of a more open look. Same thing on that look of the clicking on and coming back to the ball. Super duper important. Super important for them to do. And if you don't have hot route master, or something else you can do to kind of clear out for Mike Evans or even that crosser from Gage is streaking Cameron Brate. And it'll kind of get a similar effect. You can kind of see just clears out a little bit quicker for them as opposed to the crosser where you're trying to wait on them and wait for them to get downfield. I'll try to show you here with the deep cross. You're kind of waiting on, and then you have Mike Evans down the field. So pretty deep shot here. That's why I love this Doubles North. This is my personal base formation. I love Singleback Ace. I love Doubles Flex, but Doubles North is my base formation once I'm in West Coast. I just want to take a second here to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel. It's like 95 or 96% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel right now. If you're this far in, we're 16, 17, 20, 30, I don't know how many minutes we're into this video, but you're this far in, you're obviously liking what you're seeing. So go ahead and click the subscribe button, and yeah, hit the notifications if you want to do that, hit the like, whatever it is you want to do after that. Yeah. Singleback Spread is the next formation here. I'm going to be coming out in deep outs. We'll hit every play here. The only play I'm not going to actually show you here in Singleback Spread, but it's pretty much the same as every other 4 verticals we've touched here is 4 verticals. Your slot guy on the left breaks towards man. You have your face catching opportunities. You can drag the other slot guy, whatever it is you want to do there. So I don't want to rehash that out too many times. But deep out Singleback Spread will match with nickel again. Singleback Spread, another one of these base formations for me. So deep outs. You can just run this stock here. So obviously Gage and Brate, you're pretty much treating those guys like crossers. The two out routes on the outside sometimes are free yards. Like I said, the purple routes just don't get out there in time. And I mean, if they give you cover too, I mean that's a house call right there. And because you have a 6-man protection, that well, sometimes it means something, sometimes it doesn't in Madden. With the running backs just going crazy. But this would be a situation of just free yards right there on the right side with the out route right there. You can just see this guy, this corner here, just in back pedal motion, turns his back. I mean, that's free yards, right? Free yards. And here we get man again. But that's why I do like have that Cameron Brate, leave it on the stock, because it's pretty unique slant route kind of deal. So not too bad on, and again, because this is a balanced formation here, you can flip the formation. and then Cameron Brate can run the deeper route there. So Singleback Spread already cooking up some good stuff. Let's just hit the run game here. 5 guys in the box, 5 guys in the run game. That is what you want to see. Luka Decky, I don't want you to get blown up, but that's all good. You get the idea with the run game. You do have the zonal, you have the bubble off of it, so you can kind of get downfield. I don't know what 70 was doing right there. Just let the guy run right by him. But the run game, obviously, you're trying to chuck the ball down the field. Once they give you those light boxes and things like that, 4 or 5 guys in the box, I mean, you got to run the ball at that point. So, got to have that in there. The next one here is slot pivot, and this one you can just let this run stock here. You have a quick hitter to Cameron Brate. That's obviously where you want to hit. Very popular to beat cover 3, getting those seams, and pretty easy hitter there. But if Cameron Brate isn't open, you do the check down to Y, and if Y isn't there, that's where you go your high-low read on get up to Mike Evans right there. So we'll kind of get into the replay real quick, working this left side of the field. You see there, I mean, they got 2 guys. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to throw the ball there. They got 2 guys, but because they allocated 2 guys there, he kind of takes himself out of position, opens up in behind him. Mike Evans is right there for you. So good stuff out of slot pivot. If you want to do more of a dagger concept, maybe you're a fan of dagger, obviously you can street gauge, you can run a little bit of Y cross concept and do something like this. Ton of opportunities. Throw the ball in there. That's a tight one right there. That's tight, but ton of opportunities. Run these different concepts. This is what we're trying to do. Run these concepts over and over and over again because we know they work. We know that they're getting to different parts of the field. We're just taking these concepts and implementing them into different formations. As you can see, if you've been watching this video, we're taking similar things we did in Singleback doubles north, Singleback double selects. All these things, we're taking them and we're putting them into just spreading them across the entire scheme. So slot pivot, pretty simple. You can just drag him as well if you want to do like a 6-man protection and create something like this, but I mean that's too easy with a linebacker there. Too easy with a linebacker to throw over his head. You do have to watch with like DBs coming into that area and picking you off on the slot pivot if they're in the zone. So next one is slot options, and again, remember you can always flip these and get to another flip it the other way. So slot pivot here, or slot options. Sorry, slot options. I like to streak gauge in this situation. Not Cameron Brate, not the red route that can break out or check down, because he's very simple. As you can see, the gauge route, he can do a lot of different things. He can continue, he can break in a couple of different spots. So I just like to streak him, create dagger on the left. And now Cameron Brate, he will sit down against zone, or he'll break out against man. Okay, you get man. I thought he was going to sit down there, but you can kind of see where that is going to be a quick hitter. So here, against man. What in the world is going on right now? I know it kind of looks like man, but he keeps I don't know why he keeps breaking out. But here he should, eventually there he sits down against zone. We finally get a zone call. You saw the safety kind of stop up there and being Chris Godwin's way. If the safety would have came down here, so this safety up here, if I can get to him, he kind of stops right here and decides to play over the top, basically play Chris Godwin. If he would come down and play Cameron Brate there, you can already see Chris Godwin is running past this guy. He gets hooked up on him, but you can see Chris Godwin's running down the field just wide open on that right there. And again, on the left side of the field, you just have dagger. Pretty, well, don't throw a pick like that, but you have dagger. So, and actually with that was actually a good look to run here. He gets a quick, good inside release, or outside release rather, and you can kind of pass lead that ball down and come back to the ball for a quick hitter on slot options there. And the last one we have here is deep slot crosses, or PA slot crosses, and you can block your running back to avoid that. You obviously have a deep hitter that's going to get to the middle of the field with Mike Evans, kind of beat those cover 2 looks. You have a face catching opportunity with down the field with Chris Godwin, and you just have deep crossers with your other 2 guys. So we'll need to throw the ball quicker there, Tom, but that was my fault, not making a decision there. So we'll do that again. Sometimes you get those quick hitters, right, where just the whole middle of the field opens, and you have that, and you have crossers there, and that's kind of the idea with this scheme too. I mean, they kind of have to pick. Do they want to guard the middle of the field? Or do they want to guard the outside of the field? They allocate more to the middle of the field. Okay, great. They put it more in the middle of the field. Now you hit the one over the top to Mike Evans. You can see with this Singleback Spread, and you can bounce back and forth between Singleback Spread and
and doubles north, doubles flex. You can bounce back and forth between all of these right here, is what I was trying to show you here. And Empty Trey, which we will get to. But yeah, you can bounce back and forth between all of these. Like I can go to doubles flex from this, and just break down in this, especially if you have your audible set. You can get to all these. You can get to all these right here, and you can just see we're just dotting them up from every single angle. But that is it for the single back portion here. This is where we're trying to throw the ball out a lot. You think we're trying to throw the ball out of like gun out of a gun formation, but we're throwing it out of single back because I don't know. I feel like a lot of people think you're gonna run the ball out of single back, and then when you're bombing them down the field like we just did out of these four single back formations, kind of backs them up a little bit, and then you're already under center, easier to run the ball and get those yards. So that is it for the single back portion, and we are going to get to the I form and strong close portion of this video. I form slot is next up here. We're gonna be coming out in the stretch alert bubble. Same kind of deal with the run game. Inside out, we're gonna have halfback blast and the stretch. Obviously, there's no one out to the right side of the field. I mean, that's your go ahead to run the stretch. Pick up your yards that way, but you also want to have a inside run here, obviously, because forms like this, they put a couple guys out there, only a few guys in the box, 5 guys in the box. I mean, pretty easy run looks, and that's what you want to have out of this, right? You want to have a formation to basically check down to you have a fullback on the field, you have a tight end on the field, and you can run the ball. You can run the ball heavy, you can run the ball a lot. That's kind of the idea. You do have other run plays, halfback dive with a bubble attached to it, but I mean these are the main two that I go to is the stretch alert and this halfback blast here. I know I'm like spamming the halfback blast, but I'm getting a lot of light boxes, so I mean like here, I mean obviously run the halfback blast, but I'll run the stretch one more time just to run it. So you see both of those are really good runs here out of this I form slot. Scheme here. So first pass play is sail Y shake. Oh, that's a tongue twister. Sail Y shake. That's crazy. Okay, so you have scissors on the left side of the field with Godwin and Mike Evans, and then the shake route is kind of it's a little bit not unique necessarily because it's in a bunch of different plays, but it's something that just might throw the user off just a little bit if you don't throw it out there every single play. So if you don't want the shake route out there, I mean you can throw them on a streak and kind of stretch the field that way and kind of make them play, try to make them play one of those two. So, but we're going to leave the shake route out. We're going to leave the shake route this time. And, yeah, I mean, just read scissors. I don't know what happened there. But obviously that defender came down to play the running back in the flat here. This defender, I believe, yeah, came down here to play the running back in the flat. Obviously came downhill. Easy throw right there, and I don't know what happened. But even downfield here to Mike Evans running like a scissors here, even that's open because I don't know what the middle of the field player is doing there. But just letting that shake route, and I mean that's nice too for that shake route to be on the field. That's another great point that they were in man. If there is a computer guarding that route in man, the shake route does typically do a good job of breaking away from that. So sail Y shake there, not too bad. Dagger is the next play. This one I just like to run. Stock here. You run that deep in. That's what you're trying to hit with Cameron Brate underneath. I mean they give you man. If you can hold on to it just long enough, you're trying to get that Mike Evans route down there. Try to set it up again. Yeah, boom, right here. Of course you get man coverage down the field, which kind of sucks. If you do get man, you want to throw it on the break of Mike Evans out there. I'm going to max protect so I get both running backs, and then I'll re-streak Cameron Brate. And here I should have checked down earlier. That was terrible right there. This is just a terrible dagger concept for myself right here. Right there, the linebackers were dropping back a little bit. This guy right here dropped, well, this guy actually right beside him, dropped back just far enough to kind of take away this in this cover 2 look. Maybe I could have pass led like into Chris Godwin, try to pass lead over into here, but that's probably would have been my best bet, to be honest with you. But let's dial it up again here. Right there, a quick one. You love to see that one. If you're going to give me the seam, take the seam right there on dagger. But obviously, you see, like I said before in the video here, you're seeing similar concepts, similar concepts there. I mean, they're blitzing, throw it where they blitz from. I mean, that's always typically a good idea. So, like I said, I mean, you're seeing these concepts from earlier in the video keep popping up, Here, there we go. We finally hit Mike Evans. You see everybody pull up. The middle of the field just opens like the Red Sea. That's what you like. That's what you're really looking for. And now that we've hit the outside route to the left side of the field here, and really been working the left side of the field with sail, Y shake, and dagger, we're going to go with PA post shot here. And really you can block your running back Leonard Fournette, and you're going to have basically smash on the right side of the field with Godwin and Mike Evans just getting to those tender areas of the field right there. That would have been close to a house call right there if you had a really quick receiver beating those cover twos. But you're really trying to set up that right side of the field. Of course, you're going to get man here. And I don't know exactly what that was, but that works too. Again, and if you're getting man like that, you can pass lead that ball down and come back to it a ton of the time. I mean, I don't want to say 100% of the time, but a lot of the time you can pass lead that ball down and, I mean, come back to it like that. So, against man coverage. And probably 70-80% of the time you're going to be able to do that here. And remember, I mean, we're showing these pass plays here, but the idea is to run the ball out of this scheme. I mean, you can see we're throwing the ball down the field. We have these shot plays. We have quick hitters. But the main idea is going to be to run the ball, check down this halfback blast, check down to the stretch here. I don't know what happened there. Everybody just got blown up. No one decided to block. But your MUT team will be better than, I mean, here, obviously, right? They're going to give you that kind of look, and then still we get a shed. But whatever, you get the idea. Hopefully you have better players than we do on these regular teams. But, yeah, PA post shot, dagger, short, intermediate stuff. The run game is the main idea, though, out of this I-form slot formation. Strong close is next on the list here. Our run game here, I'm only going to show you one run game, one of the run plays. Halfback off tackle is going to be the run play I'm going to show you here. But the other one you can run here is zone weak, or if you like on the counter. I'm really not a big fan of counters this year. But you have the halfback dive, have the halfback zone weak. You can obviously do here. But the main things I want to hit here is the pass play. So we're going to come out here in FL drive and do that way. So we'll just start with FL drive. Really, you can leave this play just stock here. Love it to beat man coverage. Godwin underneath. You have a quick hitter to your to your running back as well. Good stuff. Creates like a high-low read. Once Godwin and Cameron Brate get over the middle, pretty nice there. And then Mike Evans as well. If you see like a cover two look, you can kind of hit Mike Evans down the middle of the field once you see those safety split. So FL drive, pretty decent play to start out here. And to couple FL drive, you're trying to hit down the field with Mike Evans. Here we're going to hit a quick hitter to Mike Evans. Here, I mean, he does kind of have outside leverage, but again, run the stock. You're basically running like curl flats on the right side of the field with Cameron Brate just in the middle of the field, doing wherever if you put him on a cross, something like that. But the main idea is Mike Evans. And again, sometimes, guys, that is not free yards because he was in man right there, and that was a little bit scary. But sometimes that corner does just like right here. I mean, here you're kind of thinking like cover two, so maybe we'll like streak Cameron Brate. And yeah, it's not cover two, so like rotate it into like cover three. Free yards right there. Anytime that guy's in a deep blue on the outside, a lot of the times that purple, you can see right there, that linebacker is in the purple. It doesn't matter who it is. A ton of the time, they just can't get out there for whatever reason. The coding in the game is it's just broken that way. Let's just touch on the run game. Obviously, you have the inside zone as well, which would be good to couple with this. But you have the halfback off tackle, which is going to be your more power run, running behind your fullback. And again, try to catch them in light boxes. I mean, bounce that one out. That's just a beauty right there. So, good run game still out of strong close. Again, you still have the inside run with the other stuff in the playbook. So, next one is mesh. Couple different ways you can run this. You can run this to the right, and you can do that by streaking Godwin. And if you have Hot Route Master, that just makes it beautiful. This would be the setup. You put Mike Evans on a cross. I mean, that's of course we block up and we still can't block it, but. Oh man, and now they gave us quarters. I don't understand that. You pick nickel and then they give you quarters. I don't understand. I just understand. But mesh, set it up again here. Godwin deep, Mike Evans coming across the middle. You can see sometimes you can sneak Mike Evans in behind those linebackers. Sometimes you can't, and you're still running sailed over there. And that's the way you can run it to the right side of the field. We'll do that one more time, kind of set it up. Here it looks like Mike Evans might be, yeah. Mike Evans just wide open, right? Too easy but sometimes that happens, right? They're trying to allocate so much, they're trying to stop that corner route from the tight end, and the user just vacates the entire middle of the field and leaves the crosser wide open. But you can also run this to the left side of the field if you have Hot Route Master. You can do that by streaking Mike Evans and then sending Cameron Brate on a crosser, and then you can kind of block your running back, your fullback here as well if you want like a 7-man. And you can just see if you kind of just drift. Eventually, Cameron Brate does get over top of those zones. If you want the quick one, you do have a quick hitter to I think that's Chris Godwin underneath. But yeah, running that to the left is just as good. And I mean, you can let the fullback as well off. I mean, you don't have to block him, but if you want a quick hitter out there. But I mean, you can just see running it left, running it right, and that's just out of mesh. So that's what Hot Route Master does allow you to do in this scheme, because it kind of takes it to another level, really. But that is mesh, and then the last play we have here out of this is inside post. And inside post is nice because you have Mike Evans does a really good job beating man, because you can kind of see he doesn't just run straight up the field. He kind of runs a little bit angled towards the sidelines, just slightly towards the sidelines, toward the numbers there, and then kind of breaks inside. So that's pretty decent. With Godwin, you can let him on that route. You can block Cameron Braid if you want, if you don't want to check down there. Or if you want to block your running back instead of Cameron Braid, that's cool as well. Do something like this. And then Godwin, eventually, I like to leave him on the route, because eventually he does get open against man coverage, but you're really trying to work Mike Evans down the field. And again, pass leading down and coming back to the ball is going to be huge. But this is really the look you want to run it against, and we'll kind of block Fournette here. This is the look you're running against two high safeties. If you're playing a guy that runs a lot of two high looks, a lot of cover two, things like that, you're trying to hit that. Even cover two man. I mean, you get maybe have like Jerry Rice. I know he has route tech, something like that. You can still you still have to check down as well. So not too bad right there with strong close. A little bit of everything to push the ball down the field, push the ball down the middle of the field. Quick hitter with Mike Evans. I mean, you have mesh, which is just mesh in strong close is one of my favorite plays ever. I mean, run it left, run it right. Hot Route Master just takes it to, like I said, just takes it to a whole new thing with mesh, left, right, whatever you need, along with all these other plays with quick down the field with inside post. You still have FL drive for another one down the field with Mike Evans. So good stuff there out of strong close. And our final formation of this ebook here out of West Coast is gun empty tray. And I like to have just kind of a spread formation, spread it out 5 wide. You've been under center the whole game. I like to have something kind of similar in like the run fast game where we went to I-form slot to kind of check down to a heavy set run game. Here we want to spread it out and just be able to throw the ball all over the yard. So we'll get to gun empty tray here. Probably should have went with dime there. But let's start with corner strike. Corner strike is going to be your man beater. Obviously, you get a little shift out of it, but it is what it is. Corner strike, you get you get your man beater. Your tight end is kind of the guy you want to work with. I mean, here I want to streak him maybe because, like, I see 2 high safeties. I see those guys kind of splitting up, and hopefully I can fit that ball in there. Yes, sir. Good stuff there. Kind of gives you the ability right there. But that is your man hitter right here. Your corner strike play. You can kind of throw him on a cross too if you're strictly trying to beat man. Throw your tight end on a crosser if you're just trying to beat man. But there, man coverage kind of backed up. Click on, catch the ball, come back to it. Pretty simple stuff. You definitely want to have a man beater because you can't always put C routes out there on the field, but you definitely want to be able to get them. So 4 verticals is next. Maybe you want to block your tight end here as well. You can max protect, anything like that. You can throw a crosser underneath here from either Gage or either one of these slot guys here if you have Hot Route Master. So throw a slot route or throw a crosser in there, kind of hit it up with cover 3, things like that. Be able to get to that, that's important, definitely. And obviously with any 4 verticals play in Madden 23, you obviously have face catching opportunities. So this is something you might look towards, something like that. Fournette on a crosser, throw it up with a face catch, of course, so we don't connect, but you can get the idea of trying to push the ball down the field there with 4 verticals. I know we touched on it before. I don't want to hash it out too much here. Next one though is double slot cross, and really same thing. I mean, you see 2 high look here. Maybe you streak Cameron Brate. If you think it's gonna be like man coverage, maybe you put him on a cross, and then you're kind of running like a deep cross with Mike Evans and Cameron Brate, and that's something I really like to do here. And yeah, I mean, you can just see really opens up down the field there with forcing everything underneath. And you get a little bit of everything. Like, that's kind of the whole theme of this playbook here. Getting a little bit of everything, be able to hit the ball deep, hit the ball short, whatever it is you need to do, put the ball there. And I really like to put Cameron Brate on a crosser, honestly, and especially against like this one high look here, closed look in the middle of the field. I mean, you can really just, if we just had another split second there, would have been able to dial one up there. But double slot cross, good stuff there. Again, another one high look. I mean, I'm gonna try to hit one more time for you guys. See if I can hit a deep cross. I'm gonna kind of drift with the line. Let's take Cameron Brate. A little bit of a dangerous play there. Kind of let it down, keep it away from the defender there. But I mean, again, we're just running deep crosses, but from different guys. So overall, good stuff. And then slot drive here is our last play. This one we can just leave it stock here. We're running drive with Cameron Brayton Fournette. Good stuff to just have like a pretty much high-low read over the middle of the field. Again, makes it tough on the user. Gage Jr. gets into a good spot with beating cover 3. You still have a face-catching opportunity down the field with Chris Godwin. And then Mike Evans just kind of runs that comeback route. If you need something to come back to, literally kind of gets behind those purple zones and things like that. But there, again, I mean, cover 2 even. Gage actually finds a good spot in the zone there. So slot drive, really like this. Down the field. And here, actually, we might be able to hit Mike Evans a little bit. Nah, we're gonna throw a pick. That Mike Evans route is kind of one you do want to come back to. You don't want to be looking to force the ball. But Fournette and the tight end over the middle of the field is what you're really trying to work. There, linebackers play back, take the tight end, drop the ball underneath to Leonard Fournette. So pretty simple there. A little bit of like a cover 3 type of look, get into those tender areas up the seams with cover 3, and then yeah, I mean that's pretty much the stuff down the field out of this. Again, I mean, if they're just going to part like the Red Sea, you had to be able to throw the ball there. But that's why I do like this gun empty tray. You're not just hitting the seams. You're dialing up crossers. You're dialing up some shorter stuff. You have a little bit of everything for being a 5-wide scheme. And you can go to 6-man protection because you have the tight end on the line of scrimmage. You can block him, which is something good because not every 5-wide scheme is like that. Sometimes the tight end's off the line of scrimmage just a little bit. Maybe he, like Cameron Brate, like he's out here. He's lined up out here. Okay, now you can't block him anymore. You have to put him on a route. So you can only get a 5-man protection. But in this, he's on the line of scrimmage, so you can get a 6-man protection. But that is it out of just the normal stuff here. I do want to touch on just some red zone stuff. Not even red zone stuff, just some really short yardage stuff at the end of this scheme here. So let's go take a look at that. Okay, still in 5-wide here. I just want to talk about really some short yardage stuff. We're running stick and strong flood are the 2 plays that we're going to be looking at. I've been actually going to 5-wide in these shorter yardage situations, in these red zone situations, even 2-point plays, because it kind of spreads them out and it makes the defense uncomfortable. I mean, think about it. Whenever you're down here and someone goes to 5-wide, it's kind of uncomfortable to be out there like that. So this short, close to the field. So with this strong flood play, what I like to do is smart route Fournette, the running back in this case, and put him on a smart route that puts him to either the first down marker or the end zone. And I just like to kind of drift right, and then kind of pick between the 3 guys I'm looking at is Fournette, that Cameron Brate route underneath, and then the 3rd guy I'm looking at is this slot receiver to the left. So I'm kind of keeping my eye on him at first. But I mean, you can just see here, I mean, right off the line of scrimmage, I mean, I see this guy blitz. I should have just been looking here. Throw the ball quick to Cameron Brate. So really, you should be looking right, decide what you want to see here, and then if nothing's open there, you have this route coming across, and then you have a deep in, which would eventually come across the middle of the field here. So that is not what we want to do. We want to put him on an out. We'll put him on an out, not a corner. Put him on an out, not a corner. Okay. And again, there, kind of runs like a pick. Ooh, that was actually a good play right there. But that is the kind of the situation you're running down there, right? That's kind of the situation running here. Fournette's going to be probably wide open because no one's over there. Yeah, someone's going to be open. Get you down there. And of course, this particular strong flood play is more of like a 2-point play as opposed to like a 5-yard out play or something like that. But the other play I do want to just touch on, just to kind of show you what I'm thinking down here in the red zone, is stick. What you can do here, I mean, you can throw this guy up to like a streak or something like that, Mike Evans, if you want like a face catching chance over there. But everything else you really just want to leave stock here. I like to have the slant. Again, same idea. I'm looking at Cameron Brate because that's a great route to beat man down here. Or he settles against zone, or you have Gage. You can kind of fire the ball in there and freeze against zone. And again, the Cameron Brate breaking against man, that's going to be your first read. Real quick and easy. We'll kind of throw that up there to Mike Evans. And here, I mean, there. We kind of tried to come back to him. DB made a good play. Everything else is kind of locked up underneath for that quick little play. But again, I mean, you can obviously just let him on a slant too and just run this stock. Fournette. No, that's too easy. And usually, again, because he's on the line of scrimmage, he's on like a linebacker type, or maybe he's on the user and the user's trying to take that away. So like the user's trying to take the away, he's doing a good job taking away, because taking away Gage and Cameron Brate there. Maybe the user's doing a really great job. You can put Mike Evans on a drag underneath, try to hold onto the ball, and I mean try to find those, get everybody swinging across, across to the right side of the field and try to block it up that way. But I just wanted to show you you guys those 2 quick little plays underneath, just inside the red zone, inside these short yardage situations. I like spread it out wide, and that's kind of the idea with this whole scheme. Not that you can't go to anything else in this playbook here, in this ebook, down in the red zone, but I just particularly like these 2 plays I wanted to show you guys. So that is the end of the scheme and the ebook. Hope you guys liked it. West Coast ebook. Been running this since Madden 22, since last year. Ran it pretty much most of the year last year. Been working on it. I've been running it most of the year this year, mixed with my Jacksonville RPO scheme. So yeah, I really hope you guys liked it. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, all the good stuff. Let me know what it is you want to see next on the channel. And with that, I hope you liked it, and I hope you catch you next one. Later.